The Muse, if you're not familiar with the Muse, it's a, yeah, okay. It's a publication that has a lot of great tips on advice on, looking for jobs or resumes and, how to write a resume and a cover letter. If you're not familiar with it, if you don't get their newsletter, you should. It's themuse.com. It's free. It's got a lot of great resources. But anyways, I was doing some research, to help talk about our data analytics program. And talks about 3 reasons every employee should be data literate and how to get started. So it talks about how, probably notice how, everything is talking about can't scroll through Twitter or read the news without hitting at least one chart, model, or visual explainer. And the world basically just runs on data. Everything that you interact with, everything that you see, a decision was most likely made based off data that they compiled from somewhere. But being able to look at a chart or a spreadsheet and derive useful, meaningful information are 2 very different things. There is a skill set in regards to looking at data and actually deriving information. I remember when I was doing my graduate degree, one of the biggest takeaways that I had from that was that the data gives you information. Data is what you need to derive information from a variety of different sources. We got everything from our smartwatches to our smartphones to our computers. Everything gives us data. And, there's just such a need for resources and the skill sets to be able to take that data and get something from it. Looking right here on the far right side in Chick-fil-A, jobs at Chick-fil-A, systems analyst, business analyst, integration software engineer. These are all skill sets, these are all careers that utilize data in some regard or another. So data literacy isn't just being comfortable with the information that's in front of you, it's having the ability to analyze it. As data skills aren't just for the analysts and some scientists and the folks in the C-suite. When you understand data, you can leverage it for your day-to-day to help you add value to your team and to your company. So data gives you value. Data helps answer the questions before even the data helps you obtain answers for questions you didn't even know were questions yet. Things are constantly moving at like rapid pace. I think everybody kind of agrees with that. Technology is constantly changing. Marketing techniques are constantly changing. There's so much data out there and there's so much things that are moving at lightning speed that it's difficult for businesses and organizations to stay on top of it. And whether it's for marketing purpose or whether it's just improvement to stay on top of, the game or whatever it is. I know a lot of times when I talk about data analytics, I make a reference to the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt. So there's a lot of great things that you can do with data. So every industry has big questions and problems to solve. Whether you work in service, hospitality, HR, grocery store, that data plays some part in the success of your role. So here are some things to be 3 key reasons it's important to be data literate and how to help develop those must-have skills starting today. So it talks about data literacy as a new standard business skill set. I think this is kind of funny. They make a reference to Microsoft Suite back in 1990s. So back in the 1990s, Microsoft Suite of Office tools revolutionized the workplace. Suddenly you have word processors and spreadsheets and PowerPoints and all these tools to do your job differently. And data is that now. Data is given us as a game changer in how we can be more effective and efficient in our jobs. Let's see, corporations are providing in-demand technical training for their employees. In the same way that we had to learn how to work in a new environment where everybody has a computer, then the internet, and now everybody has data. Understanding how to parse through it and make decisions in an environment where we almost have too much information is the new skill set. Because there's so much stuff that's coming out there. And what's really interesting, I remember some training that I took with Amazon Web Services, they talked about how 80% of the data that's out there is unstructured, meaning they don't have the time or the resources or the skill sets to actually take a deeper dive into it. Imagine that. So much of the data that's out there, it could be helping making better decisions for businesses and organizations or marketing or healthcare or anything else that we could be making better decisions if we just had the resources and the skill sets to be able to go through that data and get the information that we need. So numbers add a sense of purpose to your role. Now this is kind of what's funny for me. I hate math. I'm so bad at math. I still get a little, anxiety whenever math is getting too hard, but I love data. And I don't know why that is. It is what it is. But so it's a loop of never-ending to-do lists that can leave anyone feeling uninspired, unmotivated, or worse, unnoticed. There's a whole idea of being busy or being purposeful, and data can take you from being busy to actually having a purpose, like you see something changing because of something that you did. And that gives everybody a little bit, extra motivation to continue to do their job. When you appreciate what data means for your role, your department, and your organization, you can begin to find efficiencies and opportunities in your own work that could ladder up potential gains or cost savings. Again, data gives you information on how you can make some changes for improvement, or maybe some expenditures that you didn't even think that was, something that you could offset, and it turns out, hey, you can. Data is keen on resumes and reviews. Every project and every role has an ROI. It's a return on investment. So how do you articulate that? And when you return your employer's investment to you, give them data, give them specifics, give them stats. There's a lot of great things that you can do with data. And how to get started. Now I'm going to transition to Hocking College's Data Analytics Program description. So we are accepting applications for autumn 2021. And this is 100% online 2-year degree. Okay. And the reason it's online is because of the fact that I was a non-traditional student. I remember going to work and having to, and trying to get my undergrad at the same time. Online schools, online classes can provide that flexibility. So if you were in a similar situation as I am, or as I was years ago, and you had to trying to figure out how to make ends meet, you got bills to pay, you can't go to school and go to class, full time during the traditional, mechanism of in class, then this is going to provide a lot of great opportunity for you. So to have an online class and get that 2-year degree. And if you're wanting to pursue a 4-year degree, we have some partnerships with Franklin University, and that will help you do just that. So you can see right here, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics talks about the salary is around, it's not chump change, okay? That's a nice salary. So I got a meeting here in about 3 minutes. I want to wrap this up real quick, talk about all-inclusive pricing. The course curriculum, if you see the one-sheeter, what I find most fascinating is this, okay? Our total for in-state tuition and fees is a little over $14,000. I paid more for that for my car. And guess which one is going to have more value? Like now. Car depreciates in value as soon as you drive it off the parking lot. Your education, you continue to invest in it, it's going to constantly have gains and grow. And there's all kinds of opportunities with it. Here's a couple blog articles if you want to read about how jobs in data analytics are plentiful and pandemic proof. There's a little something about me. And there's a little something about the new data analytics program. And I got a meeting in 2 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and log off here. If you have any questions regarding data or why I think this is absolutely fascinating, please feel free to reach out on Facebook or anywhere else. Thank you.